Well, here we are. 27 years old, Mr. LaPointe. Guys, I was 27 once. 3 years ago. Just give me a minute. But this isn't about me. This is about you, Mr. LaPointe. So let's get started. A lot of things have happened to you in your 27 years on this earth, Matt LaPointe, and I can't take credit for all of them, but I can take credit for a lot of the very significant events that have happened in your life. For example, there was that time when I accidentally fell on your wrist when you were about, I think it was 9 years old, and you fractured it, and you were forced to use your other hand for eating and writing and all that good stuff, making you ambidextrous to this day. You're welcome. There was the time we were playing on the ice and you fell, and honestly it sounded like you cracked your head open, but it was really just a crack on the ice. And sure, on the outside looking in, it looks like, hey, I almost had a broken nose, but I say it's, hey, I fixed a possible deviated septum. You're welcome. There was a time I used to bring my Game Boy over every time I came over to your house, and you used to take it, sit in the chair, and play with it until the batteries went dead, making you the gamer, well, semi-retired gamer that you are to this day. You're welcome. There was a time I finally purchased my first console, a Nintendo 64 with Wave Race. I brought it over to your house, we played with it, and then the very next week, you got an N64 with Wave Race, 3 other games, and 4 controllers total, because you had to one-up me after I brought over an N64 and introduced you to the N64 and console market in general. You're welcome. There's a time we went to GameStop and you bought NHL 93 for Sega for 50 cents. Actually, it was 49. And then you proceeded to cheat by using the Chicago Blackhawks every time and just doing the dump and chase because you could never score on the initial shot and only scored on the rebound. And I was just such a good sport about it. You're welcome. There was a time we upgraded by 3 years from NHL 93 to NHL 96. And I used to beat you in the shootout mode so much that to this day, when you're done playing a video game, you throw your controller on the ground in disgust and then walk away saying, I'm done. You're welcome. Oh, there was the time you were having the game of your life in that Park and Rec basketball final. You were hitting so many threes. One guy in front of me was like, who is this kid? And then, of course, you fouled out, even though it was somebody else that technically got the foul, but it was you, and then the game slipped out of your hands. And instead of getting first place and the MVP, all you got was second place and a runner-up trophy to show for it because the race was, quote-unquote, very close. But let's face it, if you had won the game, you would have got the MVP. But instead it went to, well, But I laughed in your face right after it happened to show you that, well, actually, I was just rubbing it in. You're welcome. But then, of course, you did get some Park and Rec championships as a basketball coach. Or, there was a time you got the, your team won the time your team won the 3-team co-ed soccer league. So there's that. You're welcome. There was a time we went pancake for pancake at IHOP, and, I had 8 pancakes, and you had, 7 7/8 because you couldn't get that last bite down, because, like an idiot, you decided to cover it all up with syrup, making it 3 times as thick, and that's why you couldn't swallow it. I kept mine dry and washed it down with some water, teaching you that you just could never beat me at anything. You're welcome. Of course, there was a time where I upgraded and got a Nintendo GameCube with NHL Hits 2002. We played it forever. I mean, forever. And then the very next week, you got a PlayStation 2 with NHL Hits, SSX Snowboarding, 2 other games, 2 controllers, and only you were allowed to touch your console. You're welcome. And I mean, who can forget that one day when me and Sava had that glorious run in Can Jam where we defeated you, Mr. LaPointe, 4 separate times, and you had a different partner each time, proving in fact that you must have been the weak link. You're welcome. Why, just recently there was the time where I house sat for you, and I left all these nice little post-it notes around your house, some of which you found, and some of which you still will not have found by the time you're watching this video, and I'm sitting or standing right next to you with a big smile on my face as we find the rest of them together. You're welcome. There are so many more things I could go over, so many more life lessons I could cover, but to be honest with you, this is my last pair of glasses, so we're going to end it right here. And just saying that your 27 years on this earth seem to just have gone by so quick, but don't worry. There'll be plenty more life lessons to come, plenty more post-it notes to discover, and plenty more birthdays to have. I'm Jerome Yanford. You have a happy birthday.